How's it going, Pisces community? Soul Tigers here with a special story for this wonderful frequency. First off, let me start this video by saying thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience as I navigate this story between the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. With that being said, this is a space where we call in the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy to come on in and be the guides and protectors of all the positive messages that are going to come out. Now keep in mind, this is not love tarot here. This channel is geared around self-empowerment. And what that means to me is us building stepping stones to get closer to our soul being, which helps align us with a higher power. Pisces, 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 Pisces. Man, the vibe's a lot. Honestly, the vibe is a lot, and there's something. Either you're on the edge of something, or something is like really on the edge of things trying to get you to react to something. And the only reason why I say this, there's a few reasons why I say this, is as I sat down to get ready to start dialing into the Pisces energy, I could hear the ravens. Right as I sat down, and you can't hear them right now, they've toned down. But as I'm cleansing your cards, I'm bringing in the vibe, they are just singing away, letting me know that Pisces is here dealing with the shadow side of things. Could be stuck in your shadow side, could be getting to react to things from the shadow side. And as I cleanse the cards out that I was going to, or that I am going to use for the block, the Magician came out. The Magician and the Devil card. That's not good right there. That's not good because it's either somebody's doing things. Excuse me, I didn't realize I was tapping that. It's either somebody is putting a target on you and they're going to try and test your gangster, so to say. Or we have a Pisces that's skirting along the lines of getting ready to basically shape shift into a problem that these others don't want. Be careful with that. Be careful with that. So with the vibe, I have caution at this moment. Your guides are crying out to you. Impulsiveness can be fun when we are in the light side of the ego, but in the dark side of the ego, if we want a problem will find us. Pisces, maybe you're upset at this time, but lashing out onto others to solve things is going to do nothing for you. Just know it gets the town talking about you more. And that talk is not in a good way. Those are people who are watching what you're doing, basically tuning into you for entertainment. Could be even trying to film you if you're going to act dumb. We've all seen people on the internet, no matter what platform, that is acting dumb, and there's always somebody out with their camera ready to post the drama. Be careful. Be careful. Even if somebody's trying to pull you into this stuff, be careful. What it is that has you upset, or let me rephrase this. What is it that has you upset at the core? Look past the material and or luxury items. What is it? Why is it that you feel so misunderstood? Just chill for a bit and let's explore this misunderstood side to you. And this is something that happens with Pisces a lot. A lot of people have a hard time interpreting where you're coming from. Pisces, you have a certain view on things that not many other people have. So this is why, again, you can be very misunderstood. So to fight for something, to get upset about it, means that you care. Now, what is it that you care about? What is it that you fear losing? Maybe it has to do with a routine that no longer serves you. Being able to walk away with your head held high means that your crown will not hit the ground, no matter the circumstances. Don't let your crown hit the ground, because you got people over here who could be triggering you. But the thing is, what are these triggers? What is it at the core that we need to explore here, Pisces? And I feel like it's going to be brought out with this shadow side. I'm not sure. I am not sure, but I know there's some funk in the air, and it's weird. It's weird. You can have people trying to act weird with you. People out of nowhere that you really don't know like that, trying to be up in your business all of a sudden, trying to see what you're doing, trying to put themselves on your timeline. And it's not a good thing. It's probably to start something with you. So be careful. This is a big caution kind of thing here when it comes to the next few weeks in your journey. All right, so let's go ahead and call in the angels and ancestors and get this introduction started. What is it that needs to come out for the Pisces frequency? I like this already. All right, so we have some South Node energy. So you're confused on this. You're confused on where you've been. You're confused on that you've already mastered this. And now the divine is going to push you into something else. And that something else, because we have South Node energy, has to do with your prosperity. Could have to do exactly with your stability, being more fixed in a stability for you, grounded in your own kind of stability. Could be embarking on a little sense, or a new sense, I should say, not a little sense, but a new sense of independent here. All right, something that you're not seeing that you're at odds ends with is luck is on your side. Be careful when you go into a warrior type of mindset, what you're fighting for, who you want to fight for, what you want to fight for, and who you're going to fight kind of thing. Be careful, because when you start to aim things, are you aiming with truth, or are you aiming to make people feel how you feel? You have to be careful with that. Something we're not seeing. And you're at odds ends is it's time. It's time to release the negativity here that has to do with whatever it is that you want to react to. Maybe whatever it is that you want to take control of. Pluto energy with the Scorpio deals with life and death matters. Cutting out the baloney and getting to the core of things here. The whole thing is you're operating from a very defensive kind of mode. You're operating from a mode where you want to control things and make things happen a certain way, for things to happen and align in the way that you want them to. And I'm seeing this magician here, and I'm seeing this devil card here that I seen in the cleanse. And what I'm getting from that is you have to be careful when you're trying to manifest, alchemize, trying to turn one situation into another. It could be trying to manipulate, trying to coerce, trying to lead, trying to somehow, again, control the way something happens. Now, a lot of times the magician in the reverse can be somebody who is like, what I'm hearing to use is like the Diddy situation, like Diddy, what everything that he was doing to make people do what he wants them to do kind of thing. We've seen a lot of it on the news. It was kind of sketchy how everything worked out, but that's what I'm led to use as an example. Do not try and misuse your power. power of persuasion, power of how you're able to go into these groups, how you can be able to feel so much from your groups or people around you, and how you can use that as well, because you are a very sensitive sign. Your attunement is a little bit different, but do not misuse your gifts. Don't do it. Don't do it. You are good enough. I like that, because as we're talking about the magician represents Virgo energy. How we communicate, how we think. It's also a very analytical energy. The goddess behind this and the energy behind the house of Virgo talks about self-examination and improvement. This is a time to be giving yourself medicine. And this medicine could be showing some love to yourself. Being able to understand how you feel. Being able to take time with yourself instead of trying to rush off and control certain outcomes. Because right there, you're trying to step up to Dharma. You're trying to step on the divine's toes, basically. You know what happens when you do that? Oh, if you pair up with these darker energies, they'll give you the illusions, they'll give you what you want. But in a sense, it's all about their gain, all about what they want. It's a lot of green energy here. Green energy can be one of prosperity. It could definitely be one of growth. So don't think that you're being left out on the cold with something. It's just right here. You've already mastered something, and it's time to move forward. It's time to move towards your purpose, towards the part of your path where you find your purpose, maybe. Alright, let's see. What is the last card that wants to come out? Last two cards. Maybe what you're trying to control has to do with things that you feel like are your only possibilities. And right here, you're confused on believing in the impossible. Maybe you can't see how things are going to work out in your favor. Even though you feel like it's not going to work out in your favor, remember, everything is divinely timed. Piscean house, 12th house energy, ending old cycle, preparing for a new. This is a hard house to work through its energy, but this is something where that's your golden ticket to things. Just like with Scorpio, their golden ticket is their transformations through the different relationships that we have with people. For Pisces, it's how you put an ending to new things, and you are able to open the door to new things. So you have to end the old stuff. You have to clean out the old in order to make room for the new type of thing. And this has to do with showing the world the real you, your authentic self. We got the 11th house here, social aspirations, ideas, and reform. Now, right here with Aquarius coming in. Aquarius is the 11th house. It's the house right before you. So there's something here that you've held on to, but you've had to put on an act. You've had to master this role in order to have it for so long. But that is not your authentic self. A part of this energy with this story is you being able to realize that there is a part of you that you've held back from the world, thinking that that is the very thing that's going to get you to the prosperity. But that's the thing that has your Achilles tendon right now, because you're not being honest with yourself, and you're trying to, again, step on the divine's toes. You're trying to sit there and control Dharma. And Dharma is universal law. What's going to happen is going to happen. You can delay it. You can delay it for a few moments. But those moments that you are delaying it, the divine is going to tear your rear end up. The divine doesn't care about material or, like, how do I put this? I want to say physical. And what I mean by physical is this outside of you kind of things that you gathered along with the material. The divine doesn't care about crap like that. Just know that the divine cares about the inner journey you have with your soul being and getting back connected with it and connected with the divine. So you think that you can pull out some tricks, you think that you could be ahead, but again, the divine is going to get that higher thinking, higher up perspective switch of Dharma, universal law, and it's going to come in and tan your hide. And that could be in a lot of different ways. It could be when you're sitting at home at night and you're not understanding, you're not comfortable in yourself. It could be even when you're trying to do things, you're finding that a lot of things are breaking, whether it's your relationships with people, places, and or things. You could start to see how certain things are turning on you, turning out opposite than what you're trying to control. Again, because you're trying to go against Dharma, you're trying to step on the divine's toes. You have to let this flow, because when you let it flow, new things will come into you. So let's go ahead and get started with the present here. This is why it's important for you to be honest with yourself, Pisces. Figure out what it is here besides the external environment that you're holding on to. You need to go into your heart and you need to speak the things that you are afraid to speak of. You need to speak of the things that you feel like you may not even be good enough for. You need to speak of the things that you've been holding back from yourself. All right, so I'm hearing angels of protection and universal energy. What is it that needs to come out for the Pisceans present here? Truths. Investing. Not giving yourself a chance to juggle. Not sitting here and holding yourself back because of what once was. What once was when it came to what you thought the ideal fulfillments were. These are pretty decent cards, and for them to come out in reverse, it's a little worrying for me for you, because this tells me you're not good in a mental space, but then too, you're very distant with your emotions. But again, the divine is going to tan that hide if you're going against it, and it's not going to give you a chance. I think that you're running from your emotions, and it has to do with your mental state. Are you taking care of yourself, Pisces? Are you making sure you're getting all your vitamins, all the essentials that you need? Not the essentials that you don't think you need, because there's times where people don't think they need water. And they need it. So really check in with taking care of yourself, because this could be something that's throwing you off. It's definitely when we run into vitamin deficiencies, they can really wreak havoc in our emotional being and in our mental being, even in our physical being as well. So make sure you are taking care of yourself. Could be your emotional being that you're worried about. We have something here in the emotions that has to do with 10 of Pentacles, your stability. Your stability. If you will have it. Why you don't have it. And the reason why I say you don't have it, because I have these cups that are pouring onto these 10 of Pentacles. So this tells me that you could be up 7 days a week. 7 days a week, stressing about something that has to do with your financial situation. Then I have this Princess of Pentacles here. Princess of Pentacles I take as the Knight or Princess of Swords. Why did I say Pentacles? I seen the sword. I'm looking at swords. Maybe it's a little bit of both, a swords and a pentacle energy that I'm feeling here when it comes down to the knights. Usually the Knight of Swords is very, very, very fast moving. But in the reverse, there's no movement. It's like almost being stuck in like gum where you're trying to move. It takes a lot to try and get out of it. And I mean, this is like a lot of gum around at your feet where you're trying to stretch your legs up so you could take that step, and you see all this stickiness coming up, making it almost nearly impossible for you to think about other things. You're really stuck looking at these resources, stuck crying about these resources here. And you don't have a choice on things. You don't feel like this is the right thing. You don't feel like whatever's happening should be happening. There's a lot of frustrations about that. I hear a Pisces wanting to kind of like yell and scream because they're so worked up about this. Something else that we're not seeing is a Seven of Swords. I'm hearing the tactics. There's something here you chose to look at but not look at. It's really weird when it came to your thoughts. You were definitely busy with a lot of things around you. But at the same time, because usually with the Seven of Swords, somebody's sneaking off. This person's not sneaking off. This person has a lot on their mind. This person still is looking at the financial stuff. You don't know how to... It has to do with gathering. You don't know how to gather more resources. You don't know how to gather the stuff that you have. You don't know how to hold on to everything maybe that you have gathered. Could be that, because this has to do with resources. This has to do with stability. This has to do with you stepping out of where you've been. This has to do with knowing that there is still luck on your side, that you're not just gonna lose it all, that still there's something in the works for you. And it has to do with believing in the impossible. What else needs to come out for the present? You've been crying a lot about this. So much that you can't even breathe through your nose at times. Like, this is something that you don't know what to do with. You don't know who to even speak with, or how to speak upon this. This is definitely Pisces really feeling alone. Feeling alone and not knowing how to handle things. So we have a Prince of Cups that comes out. Very confused on this Prince of Cups. That has to do with some kind of success. Nine of Pentacles. Then we have this King. This King of Staves. All I know is where you're at. They're very emotionally immature. They're focused on their own accessories a little bit more. What I'm hearing is they're focused on gluttony. And gluttony is usually more. A person's never satisfied when they're in that gluttony kind of frequency. And this person, whoever it is, they work a lot. They reach for a lot of things as well. But everything that they're reaching for is tied to this work, tied to these resources, tied to, could be this financial thing. And this person isn't really aware of the world around them, except for when it comes to it having some kind of influence on their stability. some kind of influence on their resources. And right here, I have this person, they're not emotionally mature. When you read about these wands energies, it's surprising because they'll talk a lot about emotions here. And usually wands energy could talk about the queen as being a teacher, the king as being probably the philosopher kind of thing. This person is very immature. This person is very self-driven. When I look at this person, whatever the situation is, it doesn't see you. It looks past you. It looks past you to the things that they are focused on only. Now remember, in the vibe I said that there could be a routine that you're in that no longer serves you. Maybe this is why you go around in your head so much about things, because maybe this person, the only kind of stability they could show you was again through their resources around them. And if they put you next to them, then their resources, whatever it is, person, place, or thing, is around you. But this person, I don't know, there's still quite a distance between you and this energy. Whatever it is, there's still a distance. But they are the very thing that makes you overthink. That's what I get. They're the they're the fuel to the fire of your overthinkingness. That's what I am hearing. Hold on. There we go. What else needs to come out for the present? What is it that needs to come out for the present for the Pisces? Okay. So I want to say there was a lot of stillness here. When I say stillness, it's not that good stillness. It's a lot of stagnant energy. Whatever it is, it's not a fair investment. It's not a fair give and take here. That's what I can say. Pisces, a lot of people misunderstand you. There's no getting around that. So I have to be careful with how I word things around you in this frequency, because I don't want to come off as one of those people who misunderstand you. So right here, you don't realize that this person, this situation, this place feeds into your mental instability. Could be your unstable mental health. Could be something that's going on with your health here. The stress of this situation, unknowingly to you, is messing with your health. It could be your emotional, your spiritual, your physical, and your mental health, or it could be all four in one. Bringing on this depressed kind of energy, not knowing how to feel about it. But at the same time, you're not confronting it. You're kind of just taking it as it is. And I can't say you're taking the good with the bad. No, because it doesn't matter whether good or bad. It is as it is for you. Yeah, 10 of Swords. You are so worried about these resources. You're worried about this. And then we have 10. The Wheel. We have the Wheel card here. Wheel of Fortune is all about Sagittarius energy. This is Jupiter energy. This talks about the optimism where we can be generous, but also this is a part where we manifest things. This is all about I see the truth. And we have another Sagittarius card here. You could be dragging your feet And you could still be dealing with a little bit of that full moon energy from last month if you haven't addressed your internal truths, your truths, how you feel, being able to stand in your truth here. Right here, you're trying to go against something. You're trying to hold on to something. But whatever this something is that you're trying to control, that you're trying to hold on, is the very thing that's pinning you to the wall, so to say. It's the very thing that leaves you confined, that leaves you stuck in your thoughts. What I'm hearing to say, it's the very thing that's driving you crazy. Literally. And that's what I'm hearing, is that word literally, and they want me to say it literally so many times. This is the thing that is your undoing here at this moment. You could be in a karmic situation, expecting a karmic situation to go better. Now, I've talked to Taurus energy about this before. You may want to go check out a video that was a few cycles back that talks about a karmic is what a karmic is. It's kind of like that Ludacris song. Excuse me, I'm going to talk about some stuff. It's little, could offend some people, but it's that Ludacris song, Hoes. Not the one, I got hoes in different area codes. No, this is the other Hoes song that he came out on the first album that really got a lot of radio play, especially with his skits. And it talks about hoe activities with hoe tendencies. Hoes are your friends, hoes are your enemies. And there's one part in there, it's like how you turn a hoe into a housewife. Hoes don't act right. And right here, I'm not calling this situation a hoe, but you're trying to put something in a position that it's not meant to play for you. That's what I get. This is you going against Dharma. This is you stepping on the divine's toes. Whatever this was, it was meant to teach you how to reach for more, to believe in the impossible. But I feel like it was meant to teach you how to take care of yourself and how to become a little bit more independent. Because I'm picking up a little bit of codependentness here, because you're okay with just being here. In the sense that they don't see you, but as long as they allow you around, that's good enough kind of thing. That's love. And a lot of people misconstrue it love. They misconstrue it respect. They misconstrue it people honoring them just for the fact that people will put up with them. People are putting up with you, a person, place, and or thing is putting up with you because they're getting something out of it. If it's not love, then it's because they're merely getting something out of it. And it could be their own comfort zone. You have to think about that one. Because the only reason why I say this is your health. This is affecting your health. This is leaving you depressed. This is leaving you overthinking. You're stressed out about resources. You're stressed out about your stability. But there's something here that you've been ignoring at the same time. There's something here that you deemed acceptable for you. But this isn't your path. This isn't your purpose. You're not supposed to be just some prop in whatever this situation is. There's something here more that you're meant to go to. And it's whatever you're wishing this situation will turn into. You should go check out my new moon in Capricorn or actually my new moon in Cancerian and my full moon in Capricorn. Cancerian talks about how we withhold our emotions from others, and Capricorn energy talks about how we withhold our emotions from ourselves. You are battling your shadow side because you're not being really real with your emotions, in the sense that you're seeing everything just from that outside view, but you're not seeing things from inside. And so what that video also talks about is how we go through experiences in life. And those experiences that were really emotional, we use to create certain foundations for us, certain foundations for the way that we operate, but also the things that we block off from the world, or that we block ourselves off from the world, kind of thing. So if you want a little bit more in-depth view when it comes to how to tune into the emotions and how that will help out with this time around, again, go check out my new moon in Cancerian and full moon in Capricorn energy here. Ooh, it's a lot. It is a lot. So we're going to go ahead and dive off into the block here. Now I have my Crow's deck, and with my Crow's deck is sometimes the images could be a little grotesque depending on who's looking at it. Anything that I feel like is going to offend somebody or it's going to be a little too much, I will give you some kind of warning. And then there's going to be a buzz, a beep, or a little alarm sound once the card is pulled away. With the crows here, it's all about the shadow side. And as I said, Pisces, you've been in your shadow side for a while. Maybe the shadow side has to do with partnerships. People that we align with. People that we want to align with. Maybe people that we want to stay aligned with. People, places, and or things. All right, so let's call in our angels of protection. Angels of protection, help guide us as we navigate the block here with the Piscean community. Ooh, right away. I like the 9 of Pentacles. There's that fear again of losing out. Losing out when you become unstuck. I like these cards because ooh, unstuck from what? Some kind of partnership. I like these cards. I like the art because they depict, to me, the shadow side. And our shadow side has an imagination of its own. And a lot of times it has to do with the things that we fear. Right here, the 8 of Swords, really worried about being unstuck from this situation. And it has to do with your resources. It has to do with the things that are around you. And it has to do with whoever it is that you're dealing with. This person that you want to see you. And as I say that, here comes that 7 of Cups. You want this person to see you, but I get they're like a ghost in your life. They are a ghost in your life. If you try and hold them, if you try and get them to hold you, it's as if nobody's there. It's like this empty vessel, this empty building that can't support you. It's that there is no support there. It's cold. It's dark. Then I have this King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is really worried about their accessories, worried about their money, worried about what they have. And this King of Pentacles, you really, you focus on this energy, this person who's really, you want them to be your stability. You want the situation to be your stability. You want them to look at this partnership. You want them to look at this partnership, and you don't want them to unstick you from them. Unstick you from the situation. Unstick you from this environment. Unstick you from the things that are around you right now. But this Pentacles is not moving. This Pentacles is sitting back. Could be watching everything come apart. Maybe who you thought once was on your team is no longer there. And you don't know how to feel about this. You don't know which way to go. We go from the 7 of Swords to the 6 of Swords. All being led out by this 4 of Wands in reverse. You don't know how to feel. You don't know which way to go. But whatever it is, the gates are opening. The walls, the foundations, everything that kept things in is all being crumbled. Whatever the control was that you were trying to have, it's not working. It's not working. And at the end of the day, you just want stability. You want the support of this other. And I'm not calling you materialistic, because there's times where we need support from our workplaces. We need support from people that we are in relationships with. And it doesn't have to just be intimate relationships. This could be relationships between parents and children, between other family members, between friends, between co-workers, between you and a manager. But there's something here. You want their support. You want their stability. You need their stability. But they're watching everything hit the fan, and they're just sitting back. They are sitting back in a daze, looking past you, looking past everything that's in this environment. There's something here that this person has on their mind, but it also has to do with you. It has to do with fulfilling a contract. There's 3 of Pentacles here. This contract's here. It's one that you're not seeing. I don't know if this person knows it. I don't know if they're spiritually attuned to this. But this is a specific contract that you have in this partnership. And this contract is meant to crumble things. That's what I'm getting. It could be crumble things in 3 different areas of your life. But a lot of people, I think I did talk to, was it Capricorn and Taurus? This is a lot of, I feel like a lot of earth energy here. You have a lot of water. There's a lot of earth. There's a lot of air too. A lot of fire. You know what? But I feel the most from the earth. Remember how I was saying that this could be something in the works for you, where you step out into a different version of yourself. And this could be the version of more independence. But whatever it is, this contract's going to be served out the way it's going to get served out. No matter if stuff hits the fan or not, it will just be prolonged. Whatever I see that you're trying to hang on to, the crumbling of it is what's been written. It's been written. It's already been established. If you were to go into the future, it's already happened. But this is the present. This is the present. This is you going through the midst of the chaos right now. I think that this is coming out just to kind of reconfirm this for you. I know you want to run from it. You want to hide from it. It doesn't seem right. But the gain that you will get is something that money can't buy. You can't wear it on your outside and expect people to see it. It's not some kind of accessory. It's gonna have to do with your very vibration, your vitality. It's gonna have to do with your energetic glow. your energetic globe. I mean, right now, because you're trying to hang on to something, you could be vibrating a little lower, which is like, what I'm getting is the image of two magnets. And if you have the magnets flipped right, then they will come together. But when the magnets are flipped in opposite, then they bounce off of each other. And right now we're at this point where you're in a frequency where it's not of attraction, it's a bouncing off thing. And that's what's happening here. You guys are mismatched, whatever the situation is. But the situation, again, is meant for you to deal with this, to embark on this. I feel like the situation is happening because this isn't the worst thing that can happen in life. This is just one of the worst things that is happening at this moment for you, but it's not the worst thing that has happened to you in life. And when you reflect on other things that you've been through, you may see that. I could have a young Pisces here who is still starting out very fresh on their journey. So for a very young Pisces here, this is something that's going to help you build resilience. This is a situation that's meant to, again, bring you more to independentness, but being able to stand tall in yourself, in your personal power, in your energy, in how you feel about things, how you go about things, but also how people treat you. Because whatever this is, this person doesn't even see you. This place doesn't see you. This place doesn't even see. Maybe it could be the other things that you have around you, whether they're people, places, maybe animals, something like that. It could be your social circle. But whatever this is, they are not taking an interest. So that tells me they're not investing. So if they're not investing, then this is them giving bare minimum to you. Very bare minimum. What I'm hearing is that you're overworking yourself, but you're very underpaid here. Anything else needs to come out for the black? Let's see. Anything? Here we go. And I'm hearing that this will be our last card for the black. So when it comes to moving out of your comfort zone, believing in the impossible, we have the Two of Swords. You have to take the blindfold off. Because keeping the blindfold on and putting up with the bare minimum that you're finding with this person, place, and or thing is the very thing that's keeping you from going towards the North Node energy where you're meant to go, your purpose. Being able to make that happy life for yourself, finding that success. The reason why I say that is I did the short story, and Pisces in the short story is having a hard time with feeling success, especially in the emotions, especially of where they've been brought to in this life or at this point in their life. And just know that material things, they come and they go. But your independence is something that's priceless. You growing spiritually is something that's priceless. It's something that you can try and go and pay for these retreats and go with these gurus, whatever, but nothing works unless you actually get in touch with yourself, get in touch with what you believe. And one of the biggest things is getting in touch with a higher energy. You're all about the house of transcendence energy. You have a direct line to the divine. Everybody does, but your cord is a little bit thicker, I would say. And if you could tap into that, if you can open yourself up to that instead of trying to hang on to things, then you might be able to make it to the very what I am hearing to say is the fairy tale dream that you had one time younger. Could have been as a child, could have been as an adolescent, but there was something ideally that you wanted when it came to partnerships with people, places, and or things. But again, you have to take off your blindfold, Pisces. All right, so we made it. We made it to the conclusion. Thank you, Pisces, for your patience through all that. That was a lot. That was a lot. A lot of people will stick in situations, again, because of their debt, because of the material goods. A lot of people will not make moves because of their fear of losing out on certain things, certain resources, certain comforts. Who was it? I mentioned Diddy earlier in this, and I was wondering, why am I mentioning Diddy with the whole coercion and stuff like that? Kim Porter. That, if you ever read or listened to the Kim Porter book, this is a great example that I'm going to use here with her. She talked about she did not leave Diddy for so long because of the comforts that his success offered. She was merely a prop in his life, basically another accessory, just like Cassidy was another accessory in his life. They weren't ones that were seen by him, but basically were there for his benefit, whatever it was benefiting him at that time. Now, with the Kim Porter, she knew that she needed to leave him even after she went through DVs with him, domestic violence, but she stood, again, because of the comforts that were offered to her, the luxuries, the resources. And y'all have to just listen to that book. It was actually very interesting. It's not that long. You can hop up on YouTube. But she held herself back so much from going on an independent journey, and it came down to a lot of the things in her outside environment. The whole thing is when you go against yourself, you take away from yourself. So it's like every time that you come up against this person does something to you, it's basically you take a piece from yourself and you give it to them. And you're going to continue to do this until there's no more of you left. And that's kind of like what you can say metaphorically happened to Kim Porter. There was a lot. She's no longer with us. There is suspicions that he had something to do with it. Remember, this is all for entertainment purposes, but metaphorically, you'll give all your pieces away to somebody else, and you will not be but merely a shadow of who you once were. You will be just this empty vessel that doesn't have these dreams, that doesn't ask for more. This empty vessel that is there living their life through somebody else's view. Have to be careful, Pisces. Be very careful, okay? Alright, so divine and universal energy, let's go ahead and get started with this conclusion. What is it that needs to come out for the conclusion for the Pisces frequency? Alright, so this has to do with manifestation, some resources as well. I like this. You don't really see it, you don't understand it, you're at odds ends with it. It has to do with anger. Safely express your anger. Use anger as a positive force. Honor all of your emotions as sacred. It's a very beautiful card there. Remember how I talked about earlier with the anger? Being upset. You're upset because you care. What is it at the core that you're carrying? What is it that's the actual trigger here? I think honestly, in what I'm seeing, is seeking out counsel. Seeking out counsel with a psychologist, a therapist, a church counselor. I'm seeing to avoid family right now because you're going to feel judged. Even if somebody was coming in as a mentor for you, you're going to feel judged. And you might feel a little judged when you're talking to somebody else, but I need you to sit back and just be honest. Be honest with yourself, because this is something that's going to help start to heal whatever is the hidden trigger here. And the hidden trigger actually could have to do with your home life when you were young. All right. Something else we're not seeing is trust. Leap into the unknown, have faith, and move forward. Believe you will fly. This comes at the emotional journey you're getting ready to take. This also comes in to help you know that, you know what, you may lose a lot around you, but trust that those material goods did not make you who you are. The things in your environment don't make you who you are. You at the core, the way you operate, the choices that you make, the things that you do behind closed doors makes you who you are. How can you give trust here? Trust that you may lose something in one way, but again, it leaves room for other things to come in, other blessings to come in. It also leaves room for you to get up and go. Maybe this area, whatever this is not your area. Maybe it's a whole different area that you're meant to go. It could be that too. Because I'm noticing here with the trust that this unicorn has very big wings. Or is it a Pegasus? I believe it's a Pegasus. Again, this has to do with the resources. Something that you're not seeing, you're at odds ends with. It comes to strength. Look at that. You get the darker unicorns right away. There's a first time for everything. Wow. I'm telling you, you're going through this shadow side right now. Strength. This challenge will make you stronger. You will get through to the other side. Look for the gifts in this situation. Remember, you may be losing. Say you do go off on this adventure. You may lose out on a lot and have to start from a clean slate. But is it a really bad thing if you end up losing something, someone, someplace that doesn't even see you, that only has you around for their benefit? I mean, wouldn't it be good to lose something like that and be able to go towards something else that's even better? Think about that one. And something else that's mentioned in that new moon, full moon interpretation is that we're embarking on ascensions. This is a part of an ascension for you. This ascension is going to help you get out of being so constricted in your shadow side, because I see a Pisces here who's been in their shadow side for a really long time. They've been making moves. They've been seeing life just from the shadow side. And I feel like going off and gaining this independence, but pairing this with some kind of therapy, some kind of counseling, so that you can get extra tools for processing things, extra tools that you can take with you on your journey to get to the goals that you really have. something here that you need to understand with this contract, with whoever this person is it has to do with past lives. Release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. Remember, we're talking about Dharma, the divine? Well, Dharma's right there with karma. This is a contract that you're in right now. A contract that you made with the divine. When you made this and signed up for this particular lesson, you've seen that you were strong enough to do it. How can you tap into that energy? And the last two cards here have to do with growth. Seek out a mentor or a guide. Take baby steps as you grow. Be willing to learn from others. You're going to have to cleanse out. You're going to have to talk about this energy. You have to talk about how this energy has played you as if they're a ghost in your life. And right here, that's a part of a trigger for you. And it's something that you're going to have to open up about. You're going to have to trust this this guide, this therapist, this psychologist, this counselor. That is something that you have to open up the parameters on. What I'm hearing is when you go in, and I'm not trying to script what you should talk about, but what I'm seeing is a layout of how you could, or what's suggested, how you can go in and dive in deep to yourself comfortably without too much resistance. And it's not bringing up the past right away, it's bringing up your current situation, bringing up how this person, place, and or thing makes you feel at the core. And what I'm seeing is when you start to openly talk about this person, how this person is in relationship to you, why you're there with this person, what I see is you are opening this door where you've been in this shadow side, and you're going to open it up to the light, to healing, to bringing light into areas of your life that have been kept dark. Last card here, celebration. A positive outcome is assured. Celebrate your success. Enjoy your achievements. One thing that's really scary, if you haven't had somebody embark on this before, and I'm really reflecting back on my first part of the journey of independence, it's very, very scary at first because it's something that you have to rely on yourself. And for me, because I had 2 children that I was taking care of by myself, it was also 2 others relying upon me. But I tell you what, I may have been scared, but when I first stepped into it, it was something that was really relieving. It was very releasing, but it was also very rejuvenating because I wasn't a mere prop in anybody's life anymore. I wasn't a mere ghost in somebody's house, or I wasn't in around somebody who was a ghost to me. I was forging my own way, and from then until now, it's been 16 years, I want to say, that I've been doing this independent journey. You can't take my independentness from me. I am very selective of the relationships or even the idea of getting into partnerships with others because my independentness is so important. Because again, I'm not going to sit here and be a prop and deal with somebody who's acting like a ghost in my life. And that comes down to even places that I work, places that I go to, social communities that I'm in. If you want to treat me like a ghost, I'll disappear. I ain't gonna haunt you. I ain't got time for you because I'm too busy working on my independentness. The whole thing is, when you're independent, you bring your focus from really worrying about others and you start to focus on you. Focus on your journey. Focus on where you're forging yourself to, where you're going, kind of thing. And I feel like this is something that's really going to be healing, because somehow, again, this is a trigger. And you could feel like even when you were young, you weren't really seen by the parental figures in your life. And it's time to step out of that. That could be that South Node energy, and step into you being there for yourself, seeing yourself, giving yourself that validation that you wished others would have gave you, type of thing. Phew. All right, this is very beautiful. This is awesome. This is somebody who's getting ready to go on a journey, if they choose, that many others are scared to go on. Many others will settle with things to avoid this journey, but they don't know the gains, the harvest that you can get after you embark on this. Just believe in the impossible. Definitely believe in the impossible, and open up to starting to share how you're feeling and stuff with somebody who is of guiding, mature energy. Again, a psychologist, a therapist, a counselor. Avoid family right now, because again, you're going to feel too judged. All right, Pisces, this is going to conclude it. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience. And don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming on in and helping out with all these positive messages. And I hope that you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.